Dynamite Delight. I'll say it again, Dynamite Delight. This time not try to talk so loud that I can hear that I'm clipping the camera. Sorry about that. I have a tendency to keep forgetting when I'm not using the software to adjust all this. If I talk too loud, like this, that's good. But when I talk real loud up to the mic, your ears must bleed, even though none of you say it. Sorry. What do we get in this Dynamite Delight? We got Someone's Over. I think that will be the title I'm going to use. I'll tell you this. But what I've been watching in wrestling, has AEW managed to straighten itself out? I don't know. But I do have to say, there's some questions here in this show. And I'm going to pose this as a conspiracy. Which, of course, doesn't mean it's real. But it's a conspiracy I just noticed. Now, what do we got in the very opening? Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. Let me give it to you like this. Was this match necessary? I don't know. At least for the JS. I don't know if it's really needed for Jericho or a Daniel Garcia. But it is necessary for Claudio as well as Wheeler Yuta. It was needed for them because of what happened later in the night. I will say this, that when you see them matched up together, I'll give it like this. Jericho is still able to go. He's still the GOAT. Now, does everyone agree with me? Probably not. The guy is 51 years old. He can't move like he did when he was in his 40s. He's now in his early 50s like myself. He has slowed down. But he still does manage to keep the crowd engaged, which, that's a good thing. Because you don't want someone who could be looking exactly like let me give it to you like this. The Rock and Roll Express are nearing the point of retirement. Once you see already one member's gone, the other one's about to leave, let's just hope Chris Jericho doesn't end up going well beyond the time when they should be already retired and continue wrestling. Ricky Morton is an example of that. He may not be bad in the ring, but he can barely really do anything in the ring. At least with Chris, he still can go. I'm just saying. Of course, the Blackpool Comeback Club wins, and then once they have their moment with a Bryan Danielson, where Wheeler Yuta's angry, and he's not happy with Chris, because Chris cares more about Garcia, who he knew and Claudio knew that he was going to screw him over, and Bryan basically getting upset because he got betrayed by someone who's a lot like himself, but corrupted. That's what we get. Next, we got a number one contendership with the FTR versus the Swerve and the Keith Lee. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'd rather see FTR face Swerve and Keith Lee. That's what I'm being honest here. I want to see FTR do something. Because right now they have the Ring of Honor, the New Japan Pro Wrestling, and the AAA titles. They got to do something in AEW. They need to do something. I know not everyone is happy seeing these guys with 3 different championships, 2 of them from 2 different promotions, and 1 of them from a debunked promotion. And I say again, debunked. Because when it comes down to it, unless you're going to see Tony Khan literally set up this as a new company, literally a real company, reforged with its own budget, with its own owner, or basically a mock owner because Tony will still own it. It's a debunked company. That means nothing. So we need to do something with FTR. Then Swerve in Our Glory, where basically it's like they're just trying to set them up to split up. And I think they should have already done it. Don't have to rush yet, but you get my point. Because once they finish with this feud, when it comes to the Acclaim, they're still way over. I still love the Acclaim. I knew from the very beginning, I won't lie about Caster, because I didn't think he could rap very well. But I saw that they were interesting as heels. But I knew once they start going, and not everyone agreed, that they would become big, and they're big. They're big with Big Daddy, who's about to celebrate his birthday next week. You get my point. You already know who won. Let's move on. Now, Sammy Guevara versus Bryan Danielson. I'm going to give it like this. Bryan destroyed Sammy Guevara. Now, of course, it was a great match, but he destroyed him. He made him go to sleep and triangle choke. He made him go. And I'll say this. That was a good thing. It saved and protected Sammy Guevara. Now, not everyone's going to be fond of Sammy because especially what's been going on in the back and all this kind of crap. But you know what? He had to be protected because he is still needed. Now, do they need him after 2023? Honestly, no. I'm saying this now about Sammy Guevara. And Ty, his woman, his wifey, honestly, after 2023, they should go. It doesn't matter if they go to MLW, which I don't even know if it's even working correctly. GCW, which is still the same old promotion where I know one of my subscribers loves it. But in honesty, no. Sorry. They're doing the ECW route and counting on how they're booking ECW and Gage, you know who I'm talking about. If they make it about him, that means it'll always fail. And I'm not even saying it because I hate it. It's just that if you focus on one person and build the promotion around him, Nick Gage will bring down GCW. He has to step away eventually. And if it doesn't kill him literally, he'll bring the company down. I'm just being honest. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but the way it looks, that's what's going to happen. And then there's Impact in WWE. Honestly, he will go to Impact. So will Ty. And then they go to WWE unless they go to NXT first. I'm just saying. They should leave next year. I'm moving on. Now, let's go to Rio and what was that match? Look. Rio looked good, but let's be honest here. I like Rio, but they don't do anything with her. And it can't be because she can't speak English. Guys, if anybody thinks the reason she's not being pushed is because she can't speak English, they have done things with Japanese wrestlers, men and women, and they can make it work. But they don't do anything with her. She's just a cruiserweight wrestler. Let's make this clear. I'm being honest here. The way the match went, it looked like you had a regular wrestler go up against a cruiserweight. That's what that was. And since Jamie Hayter is now beginning to get real momentum because people really want to see Jamie do something. They want to see a feud between her and Britt, but they won't go there. They should have already started their feud, but AEW is not doing it. So what does that tell you? What's going on? In the end, Jamie wins, but does that really help her? She's got good momentum, but if she's not going to have a feud against Britt Baker, that momentum went up like this, it's going to go like this, and it's going to go like that. And I'm seeing it coming if they don't do something soon. I'm just saying. Now, let's say this. The interview. You know what? Let's get to the conspiracy first. Let's do this. Guys, what did we get during the show? We got some audio glitches. Happened twice. We had some lighting problems when it came to coming back because when I was watching, the camera wouldn't turn on immediately. We hear audio, but we see nothing on the camera. Now, there's a couple of things I think it could be. It could be literally some sloppy work, which could be, but it could also be what I'm wondering if this is a work on purpose, because I think because of what we saw from the Bucks and Kenny, the audio glitches is a sign. I don't know if anybody else is going to notice, but what did we get? We got the Bucks and Kenny Omega being erased from AEW. They literally show and hear audio of them saying that we helped make this place special. We helped and built this place. This is the greatest place ever known. And as they're talking, their images are fading away, burning up in smoke. Why would he do that? Why would Tony do that unless they're building up an angle? Now, the audio glitches could be part of that angle. Now, I could be wrong and it's not, but I believe it is. And I don't know if anyone else noticed it. I didn't notice it at first, but now seeing that bit and then the audio glitches again, if no one else catches it on, which I don't think someone else is not going to notice some reason why every week there's an audio glitch, someone's going to start noticing. If it's not me, it's someone else. Maybe JD may notice now. Maybe just Alex may know now because of what we just saw in that vid pack. But that's it. Now we got another vid pack. We got OGK talking. We got Warlow talking. We got nothing from Samoa Joe. This is about a match coming this Friday on Rampage where the Warlow goes up against Matt Taman, the now newly acquired Matt Taman from Impact to AEW. What are we getting? Don't know. Actually, I do know, but I'm not going to say it. You already know, but I'm not going to say it. Let's move on. We got Soraya's interview. But she didn't get a chance to say much because we got Britt Baker bothering her. Now, believing either this Friday or next week, we will have a sit-down between Renee, Soraya, and Britt Baker to try and hash this out. Good to see Renee is getting the spot that she was getting back in WWE, where they're making important about her and her interviews, making like something special. You never know, she may get her own show, which I think a lot of people really like. And I think it was Untamed they were doing with Tony Schiavone and can't remember the ref's name, but you know who I'm talking about. I'm wondering if she's going to join them. Don't know. Maybe she's already talked to them on their show, and maybe she's about to start another show other than her own show. Never know. I am not going to talk about other things that was done in interviews. I'm skipping the MJF interview. I'm skipping it because I'm not going to skip it. I'm just going to explain at the end. And let's move on to the end. We got simply the match of Penta versus... I'm sure I've been putting images. I'm putting one on my face. When you see this match, and you see the ending of the match, you can see one thing. It wasn't a bad match. Moxley and Penta got good chemistry. Not great, but good. But this was not about Mox. This was not about Penta. This is not about anybody but MJF. Once that match was over, Penta lost. Halfway, and his boys in the firm came and literally demolished Penta, as well as Mox. Well, a little bit of Mox. Mainly Mox, but then a little bit of Penta. And then you see MJF. When you see MJF, after he did his talk, his interview, and halfway interfering with it, you see that this was about MJF. The reason I'm botching is this. Here's the question. If I'm right about the conspiracy, about them setting up, which I believe they've been wanting to do this, for the Bucks and Kenny to come back and be something different and messing with AEW, my guess is, like some people have been talking about, it's going to be MJF against AEW, and he's not going to be against Tony. He will be for Tony because the Bucks will be the major issue here. Because, to be honest, if MJF is now lost to firm, who is capable of actually hiring the firm? The Bucks and Kenny. Now, I'm not saying that will happen. That's part of the conspiracy. I'm not saying it's going to happen because Hathaway finally went on his own. But is he really on his own? Maybe he's not on his own and he's working for another party that wants to destroy Mox, wants to destroy MJF, wants to destroy AEW because of what has happened. In the end, the build-up was pretty good, and seeing that MJF wanted to stop them, but it's like, this is my opportunity. Mess up Mox. But then, no, I want to prove myself. I want to prove that every person said I'm nothing, including a William Regal. William Regal, I'm right. And then he runs out and tries to stop it. This is about making MJF over. Not as a face, because he's not a face. Let's be honest here. MJF is no face. But he is over. He's getting almost to John Cena bits. Let's be honest. The only difference between him and John Cena is that John Cena always stayed a straight-faced good guy, but everyone hated him because he always got over. And then you're seeing MJF that is able to flip his personality from face to heel, and that makes him a better all-around in-betweener. That's just me. And I hope you enjoy this. Please give me a comment below. Tell me if you think my conspiracy is something. Because the audio glitches, the lighting problems, when they're trying to show the show, I'm wondering if it's true. I think they're doing it. I don't think these audio glitches might actually be audio glitches. I think it's part of the angle for the Bucks and Kenny to come back. Peace.